on the Fox Glacier aviation tragedy.
Is there any objection to that course being followed? There is none. The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
I move that this House notes the tragic loss of 9 lives on Saturday in the air accident at Fox Glacier, and that the House expresses its sympathy and condolences to the victims' friends and families in New Zealand, in Ireland, Australia, Germany and England. Mr. Speaker, on Saturday afternoon, as the day unfolded in Canterbury and the full magnitude of that truly traumatic event began to become apparent, on the other side of the South Island, the sun was shining on a beautiful late winter's day, and 9 people set off from a small airstrip at Fox Glacier with 4 visitors to this country about to enjoy the beauty of this wonderful part of our scenery via the unique experience of a tandem skydive. Tragically, our visitors and their hosts never got to enjoy that experience. Their plane crashed almost immediately after takeoff and a fire ensued. No one on board stood a chance. So as the nation experienced the great relief of thousands of lives spared from a natural disaster, we also felt the great sorrow of 9 lives lost in a terrible tragedy. They were Chami Senadero of Queenstown, Adam Bennett of Motueka, Michael Suter of New Plymouth, Christopher MacDonald of Mapua, Rodney Miller of Greymouth, Patrick Byrne of Ireland, Glenn Burke of Australia, Anita Kirsten of Germany and Brad Coker of England. The loss of each of them is not just untimely but unfair. For those that knew these people, this sorrow and loss will linger for a very, very long time to come. Our thoughts are with the many people who have been affected by this very tragic event. I wish to express my heartfelt condolences and those of the government to the families, friends and colleagues of the 5 New Zealanders who died, and to those in Australia, England, Ireland and Germany who have lost a loved one. New Zealand's aviation and skydiving industries are tight-knit communities, and I know they are feeling devastated by what has happened. Tributes have flowed in for the victims from aero clubs and skydiving operators from around the country. All have spoken for their respect for their lost colleagues and of the great love that those who died had for their jobs. As one person said, there wasn't anything else they wanted to do. I also wish to acknowledge the tributes to the victims from overseas. Their friends and family talk of people with a love of travel and adventure, of young people who lived life to the full. It is especially heartbreaking that their young lives were cut short so far from home. The township of Fox Glacier is a community in mourning. I understand that on Saturday night the township came together to remember their lost mates. At a local pub, the victims' favourite drinks were arranged on a pool table next to a sign that simply said, "R.I.P. boys." Of course, I didn't know any of those who died personally, but from what I've been told, I'm sure that tribute would have meant the world to them. I spoke with Westland Mayor Maureen Pugh this morning, and she told me what a wonderful job the emergency services had done, how straight up and yet how compassionate they had been. She told me how just about every house in the village has a view of the airstrip, and how many witnessed the accident or its aftermath. And she told me how proud she was of the way the people of Fox stepped up despite their own shock at what happened. It shows what a great little village Fox is, that one of the first things the people have done there is rally together to help provide comfort to the overseas families mourning a terrible loss, including those who were travelling in a foreign country with their friends and partners and who were suddenly left on their own. We do not know yet what caused the plane crash. That knowledge will come in time. But right now it is a time for reflection, commiseration and remembrance for those who have died. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to.
Speaker.